2024 is kicking off with massive billion-dollar projects that will leave the tourism industry in hysteria. The first is a multi-billion-dollar extreme theme park and offshore adventure site located at an oil rig. Next is a $28 billion Red Sea project featuring the most expensive, eco-friendly islands resort. And to crown it all, we have a luxury fantasy ski resort built at a freezing altitude of 2,600 meters. These are some of the most insane projects to anticipate in 2024. Let's take a closer look at each of these magnificent concepts. Saudi Arabia is building the world's first ever theme park, which will launch in 2025. And of all places on Earth, this extreme theme park will be located on an oil rig, providing visitors with a mind-blowing offshore experience. The park is set in the watery space of the Persian Gulf and about 40 kilometers from the nearest shore. How much does this outlandish project cost? The park would cost as much as $5 billion and is sponsored by the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia. With huge amounts of profits in mind and inspired by the complex appearance of offshore oil platforms, the park was developed to rig the senses with its 150,000 square meter space, featuring a breathtaking view and extreme activities such as bungee jumping, skydiving, roller coaster rides, Ferris wheels, pendulum ride, cable car, and all forms of engaging water sports. There are approximately 3 hotels adding up to a total of 800 rooms in the park. In addition, there will be 11 exotic restaurants that will offer the most lavish cuisines, while offering an under-the-sea dining experience with an awe-inspiring view of sea life. To make things even more interesting, there is also a wave pool, where visitors can slide down and end up in another pool below that leads to a man-made river. You may have noticed that this is all happening on an actual oil rig. Yes, the existing oil rig is being converted from a revenue-generating system to a more environmentally friendly revenue-generating system, as Saudi Arabia works fervently toward becoming carbon neutral in the coming years. The park isn't only a part of the Net Zero 2060 goal, but it is also a fragment of the Saudi Vision 2030 project to become the leader in international tourism with the best luxury locations in the world. This is aimed at diversifying the country's economy and making the shift from complete dependence on oil production revenues to other forms of revenue, such as tourism. The park is projected to attract over 100 million tourists annually. The means of arrival and departure will include helicopters, ferries, cruise ships, and yachts. But a trip to an oil rig is never complete without actually learning how an oil rig works. So to fill this gap, there's also a hands-on, real-life experience on how to operate an oil drilling system. With all things being equal, the park will open in 2025. Here's another project that costs almost 6 times more than the theme park. It is referred to as the Red Sea Project. The hyper-ambitious multi-million-dollar project is also a part of Saudi's Vision 2030. The project idea was announced by the Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, in 2017, and 2 years after, the construction began. Sources say that the project is near completion and the first resort will be open to tourism soon. So what is the Red Sea Project exactly? It is a network of luxury resorts located on the west coast of Saudi Arabia. The location is between the 2 cities of Umlaj and Al-Waj, in a 28,000-kilometer square space in the Tabuk province. The network of resorts would be strategically dispersed, covering a wide expanse of space that is as large as the entirety of Belgium. The project destination is enclosed by one of the largest barrier reef systems in the world. It also stretches across 90 beautiful and exotic islands and beaches, and even covers canyons, mountains, inactive volcanoes, and huge desert dunes. In addition, Saudi is also building an entire airport solely dedicated to carrying visitors to this destination. The airport is known as the Red Sea International Airport. There will also be other forms of transportation from the airport to the individual island resorts, such as buses, ferries, cars, and others. An interesting fact is that the project is positioned at the crossroads between Africa, Europe, and Asia, meaning that most parts of these continents would be within 8 hours of flight distance away from the luxury destination. According to sources, about 16 hotels, historical sites, A yacht marina, recreation centers, and the international airport are expected to be open for business in 2024. However, by 2030, the Red Sea project will have about 50 hotels with a total of 8,000 rooms and way over 1,000 residential spaces available across 22 islands. Some may wonder why the Red Sea airport is so small. That is because the Red Sea project is so exclusive that it plans to provide services to about 1 million people per year to maintain a serene environment with a sparse population. This makes business sense when talking about a private luxury holiday getaway with loved ones, away from all the noise and overpopulation. When visitors arrive at the airport, they will be glad to find that there are no baggage claim areas and all luggage has been delivered directly to the visitor's hotel. This is a most effective way to eliminate the time wasted on baggage claims at regular airports. It's all about efficiency, luxury, and maximum comfort. Wondering what it would be like to spend some time in these resorts? Well, the Umahat Islands is the place for all forms of water sports such as kayaking, surfing, and sailing, with an ecstatic view of colorful reefs and clear waters. The Shira Island offers nature at its finest, with its coral bloom designs, beautiful golf courses, beach clubs, and fancy hotels. The Shebara Island is like stepping into an island in space, with its futuristic architecture called orbs that maintain buoyancy on crystal clear waters. It is also a place where one can explore the depths of the ocean thanks to a reef drop-off that measures about 30 to 40 meters near shore. If these aren't enough, there's also the Amala Resort that stands out as a separate project. However, it has been claimed and is currently a part of the Red Sea project. The Amala Resort will have over 3,000 hotel rooms, a yacht club, and many recreational facilities. Now, what about the inlands? Let's take a look at the inland resorts. There are mainly two inland resorts. One of them is the Southern Dunes, which features a hotel complex, 40 residential villas, and a huge pool in a remote desert location. The second resort is called Desert Rock. It is an architectural marvel, integrating a resort into the sides of mountains to preserve nature and provide a magnificent view of the desert landscape. The interesting aspect of this project is that it will adopt and run completely on renewable energy, completely cutting off CO2 emissions and creating a clean, sustainable environment, enhancing biodiversity and improving the local ecosystem. On a wider scope, the Red Sea project will provide 70,000 jobs and greatly boost the economy of Saudi Arabia. The next mega project is absolutely awe-inspiring. The government of Saudi Arabia embarked on a project that goes against the laws of nature itself, turning a giant desert into a snow-filled ski resort. Here is the Trojena Mountain Village. Trojena is a fragment of the Neom project and is located about 50 kilometers from the Gulf of Aqaba coast, right in the heart of nature. The world-class resort center has an elevation range of 1,500 to 2,600 meters, specially designed for alpine and extreme adventure sports at sub-zero temperatures. At that height, there will be lots of snow in the winter, and visitors can engage in downhill skiing, along with other extreme winter sports activities. Visitors will certainly enjoy the fresh air and panoramic view from an altitude that high. Trojena is projected to harbor 7,000 permanent residents and at least 700,000 visitors by the year 2030. Plans to finish the project could be completed in 2026, and the mountain resort could receive its first visitors the same year. The ski village will be infused with so many activities and technology that visitors will be engaged at all times, especially with its round-the-year calendar of music events, sports, arts, festivals, and all other activities. So what can visitors expect on a holiday to the vertical village? What makes Trojena such an awesome place for a luxury holiday? Aside from its unique architecture, which by the way will leave visitors completely enthralled, the resort in the skies features 36 kilometers of ski slope plains, 42,000 meters square retail and dining outlet space, 3,620 luxury hotel rooms and serviced apartments, and a 3,000-seat mountainside amphitheater. The resort location will have over 100 indoor and outdoor activities. It is projected that Trojena will not only greatly support tourism and economic profits in the region, but will also provide up to 10,000 jobs by 2030. Which of these projects do you find to be the most impressive, and what are your thoughts on the development? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, do not forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on notifications so that you do not miss other great upcoming projects in the future. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.